Hello, math students. Welcome back. This is Module 2, Arithmetic Operations Including Division of Fractions. And this lesson is called Dividing Fractions and Mixed Numbers. This is Lesson 6. And our goal for today we will learn how to divide fractions by mixed numbers. The question that I want you to be thinking about in this lesson is, what does a mixed number really mean? Okay. So to get this lesson started, what I would like you to do is I would like us to focus on learning some information about things that you may already know. So it might be a review for some of you, but for some of you it may be brand new. So under the Things to Know section, we have this mixed number. This is called a mixed number because it has a whole number connected to a fraction. So when you have a whole number connected to a fraction, the reason why it's called a mixed number is because you actually have two different number values mixed together. So this means that there are two wholes, and this means that there are 3/4 of another whole, okay? And so the question that we ask first to help us figure this out is, how many pieces make a whole? Well, the way that you always determine how many pieces make a whole is you look at the denominator, okay? So how many pieces make a whole in this one? The denominator answers this question. So we look at the denominator and we see that it's fourths. So we need to know that each piece that we're working with, the two wholes and the 3/4, needs to be broken up into 4 equal pieces. To understand mixed numbers, we can draw pictures of them. So two wholes, here are the pictures right here, and then 3/4 of a whole, here is where the picture is going to go for that. So what two wholes looks like is we have one whole that is divided into 4 equal parts. We have another whole that is divided into 4 equal parts, and then we have one more whole that is divided into 4 equal parts. Now, the way that the picture works, or the way that the picture helps us, is it says we have two wholes. So that means they are completely available. So that means that all 4 pieces in each whole is available to use. So two wholes, when we are drawing a picture of it or using a picture to model what we have all 4 pieces in both wholes available. So that makes them two wholes. Now, 3/4, however, not all of them are available. Only 3 out of the 4 are available. So we can color in this one, we can color in this one, and we can color in this one. We cannot, however, color in this one because it says we only have 3 out of the 4 that are available. So this is our picture of what it looks like, okay? So two wholes and 3/4 of the next whole. That's what this mixed number looks like, two wholes and 3/4 of the next one. So then what you have to think to yourself is, how many total pieces is that? Okay, total pieces are 4 in each one, but how many do we have available? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11/4 available. And the reason why it's called 11/4 is because the denominator is always 4 because we broke each whole into 4 equal pieces. So the denominator has to stay the same always. So since we cut them into fourths, we keep the denominator the same always, and we just count how many of them that we have. So 2 and 3/4 is equivalent or equal to 11/4 because there are 11 total colored pieces, right? There are 11 of them. We counted them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 colored pieces, so that's how many we have, and then the denominator never changes, so the denominator has to be fourths. So 2 and 3/4 is equal to 11/4. And now you know what a mixed number truly is, okay? All right, so then once we can figure that out, we now know how to apply it to what we've been learning all along, which is I can divide fractions by fractions. I can divide fractions by fractions within word problems. That was what our I can statements are for our standards. And so we're going to do the same process we've been doing all along. So we have 5/6 divided by 4 1/2. Okay, we can totally do this. The only thing that we have to do now is we have to add one more step. And that one more step, believe it or not, actually is the first thing that we have to do. So step number 1 now is going to be change any mixed numbers into improper or fractions greater than 1. And the reason why they're called fractions greater than 1 instead of improper fractions is improper fractions kind of makes us think that it's wrong or that it's bad. They aren't improper. They're not bad. They're not wrong. They just mean that your numerator is always going to be larger than denominator, which is going to make them fractions greater than 1. Okay? So that's the first thing. So the first thing we have to do is we have to deal with this guy. All right? Then step number 2 that we have to do is we have to find your common denominator, or your LCM, right? So find, oh darn it, that marker, I forget every time when I try to use it. Okay, so step number 2 is going to be find LCM to get your common denominator, right? Okay, that's step number 2. And then step number 3 is divide straight across, right? And then step number 4 is going to be simplify. Okay? All right, so now let's give it a try. So step number 1, change any mixed numbers into improper fractions or fractions greater than 1. And so to do that, we have 4 wholes and 1/2, and we now see the denominator has to be 2 for this one. So in order to do that, the denominator is 2, and then I have 4 wholes and 1/2 of another whole. So let's draw a picture right here. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, and 1/2 of another one. So I have this available, I have this and 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 this available. Okay, so now I've shown in a picture what I have available. I have 4 wholes, there's the 4 holes, and 1 out of the 2 of the 5th one. So now, again, remember, I have to count how many total pieces are available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 of them are available, and the denominator has to be a 2 because that's what it said it was right there. Okay, then I just bring everything down. Okay, so far so good. So now I have 5/6 divided by 9/2. Step 2 says that I'm supposed to find an LCM so that I can find the common denominator. And my denominators so far are 6 and 2. So LCM, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5 is 10, and I'll stop right there. 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24, 6 times 5 is 30, and I'll stop right there. So now I'm looking for the least common multiple. Well, the only one they have in common so far is 6, right? I don't see anything else that they have in common. So 6 must be the least common multiple, which that means that's going to be our denominator. Okay, since I don't have any room going this way, I'm going to go down this time. So I have to have a denominator of 6. I have to have a denominator of 6, right? Here I'm dividing. So how did I get from 6 to 6? I multiplied by 1. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. 5 times 1 is 5. How did I get from 2 to 6? Times 3. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So that would be 27. And now I have common denominators. Okay, that wasn't so hard. Step 3 says divide straight across. Well, we can do that totally. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 5 divided by 27 is 5/27. Oh, well, that's not so difficult. 5/27, last step, says to simplify. So 5/27 divided by 1 equals 5/27. So now I know that the answer has to be 5/27. Okay, now, in the lesson before this one, I taught you a very important rule about how to check your answer. And the way that we are supposed to check our answer is we are supposed to check answer with multiplying by the reciprocal. Reciprocal. Okay, so let's try that for step number 5. So multiply by the reciprocal. I am going to use this one because that has the common denominator. So we're going to go 5/6. We multiply by the reciprocal would be 6/27. And now we're going to multiply straight across. 5 times 6 is 30. And 6 times 27 is 42. Regroup the 4. 6 times 2 is 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. And now we have to simplify it. So I'm going to say let's divide both sides by 6. 30 divided by 6 is 5. And 162 divided by 6 would be 6 goes into 16 2 times with 4 left over. Bring down your 2 is 42. 6 goes into 42 7 times. And lo and behold, kiddos, dun 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 dun. Okay, so did you come up with the same answer of 5/27? You sure did. So we also did step number 5. Check your answer with multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay? Wow, that really was not that complicated. The only thing new that we learned is that you have to change any mixed numbers into improper or fractions greater than 1. Okay? So boys and girls, this is really not that difficult. You're just getting more and more steps, and you can handle it because you all are awesome. Okay, so now let's do some practice ones. Okay? And I'm actually going to have you do them all. So practice these. I will read them to you so that you can get them down in your comp book. And actually, it's very funny because the very first one is already done for you because that was our first practice. So I'm going to write right here, Merry Christmas. Just kidding. This one's already done. Done already. So you don't even have to write that one down because we already did it. Okay, however, the next ones you do have to write down. I would like you to show me 3/4 divided by 6 2/3. Okay. Next one, 1/3 divided by 4 3/4. Okay. And the last one, 2/5 divided by 1 7/8. Okay. All right, kiddos, those are your practice problems. Let's go back to our goal and make sure that we did what we said we were going to. Today we will learn how to divide fractions by mixed numbers. Ta-da! Yep, we totally did that. Okay, question, what does a mixed number really mean? A mixed number really means that you have several numbers that are being mixed all together to make a new number. So we have 2 wholes plus 3/4 gives us 2 3/4. We have 4 wholes plus 1/2 gives us 4 1/2. Okay? All right, kiddos, I hope that you got something out of this lesson today. I'll see you later. Bye!